cultures, we see that cells move towards food and they move away from toxins. Pretty amazing. A cell in a culture will move towards food and okay, going towards food is growth and protection. Fear stops growth. Happiness it stimulates the hormones that produce growth. Dopamine and things like that. Happiness does that. When you hug, they measure this, they have lines in there, and when people hug each other and all that versus people having an argument, it shows what happens. So we know the hormones that are secreted during happy, loving times versus the hormones secreted during anger and fear and stuff like that. And it turns out that love, which is, just a good hug. Okay, now I just want to give you, I'm trying to give you again some physical stuff here. The autonomic nervous system, that's the part of the nervous system that we call the non-voluntary nervous system. The voluntary nervous system is our muscles. I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to do this. The parasympathetic and sympathetic are the ones that control the heartbeat, control the sweat, they control digestion, they control all the things that we don't think of. Okay. Now, the way that this is connected in the brain through the biochemistry is in the brain there's something called the hypothalamus. So it's the hypothalamic pituitary axis. So the brain, so my thoughts will have the hypothalamus will respond to my thoughts, which goes to my pituitary, which now my adrenal gland. So, and I can produce cortisol and epinephrine, and this is constricts blood flow, because remember, the basic two functions, this one is blood flow to the organs, digestion, assimilation, sleep, all the things that are making your organs heal and do wound healing, all that happens here. Sympathetic says, time out, there's a bear coming, or there's a guy with a gun over there and he's crazy and he just came through the door. So now what your body does, it produces these. You see that, the hypothalamic produces it. And what happens? All the blood flow to your heart, not to your heart, but that you need that, but to your liver, your pancreas, all the things for digestion are not shut off, but narrowed. Everything is narrowed. All the blood flow to the organs of growth, healing and stuff, but all the blood now goes to your arms, legs, and you're ready. That's why, when you've heard of a woman picking up a car and her baby's there, something she couldn't normally do. Okay, that's that response. Okay, so anyway, growth, when we talk about growth, what we're talking about is the viscera. Our organs are being saturated with blood and they're allowed to heal and do their work. And then when we want to protect ourselves, our muscles and our bones get activated. So it's growth versus protection. Orphanage is very interesting. With no love, stress hormones, 80% autism, and a 30 to 40% decrease in height and weight. Love, interestingly enough, produces serotonin. A good hug. That's why, when they say it's better to give than receive, because when you're giving, you're probably just putting out all that serotonin, and you feel it. It's really selfish. I like to give because I feel good. It's a. You know this, right? Royal jelly. The bee lives 20 times longer. You give royal jelly to a non-queen, and it'll live long too. It's in the royal jelly. Anyway, I'm just talking about environment, food, and all that. Now, the immune system is also not necessary during the time that you're running away from the tiger. And guess what else is not necessary? Thinking. In fact, if you think, you're in trouble. You don't have time to think. You have to react. So the forebrain is thinking, consideration, decision making, and the hindbrain is, right? So what happens is it gets shut off. The forebrain gets shut off. So somebody under stress can't think. Anybody ever sit for a big exam? So you're in there and you're going to take your big exam, and you've prepared and you're kind of nervous, and you look at the first question and you can't answer it. Now I can't even answer the second question, which I should probably know, and now stress turns off thinking. So, I take the test. I got to relax and take the test, right? So I just want you to know. So thinking and immune function go away also. So a lot of people we see who are basically in sympathetic overdrive are walking around not really thinking too much. They're functioning out of their 95% of their subconscious. Their immune system is shut down. This is so how does stress harm? Ugh. So stress shuts down the immune system. We already have most pathogens. You don't catch a germ from somebody. In Asia here, everybody's wearing these masks. It's crazy. Listen, somebody walks in here and they sneeze on us. 5 get sick, 5 don't get sick. Was it the germ or was the guy with the catcher's mitt who catches it? Okay, so it's immune function, immune status. How come you've got all the, you can have, you know, it's well known, heroin addicts using a needle with HIV. They don't all get it. They all got exposed to the HIV, but they didn't all get it. Again, so it's not the HIV, it's the person who's susceptible to it. If I did a throat culture, we all have strep. You got strep and staph all over your skin. You don't catch it. You just let it get activated. You let it set up camp by shutting down your immune system. So when you catch a cold, you're not catching anything. What you're doing is your body's immune system has lowered its effectiveness, and now these things can take up